Hello again, Year 8, and welcome to Lesson 11 on acids and alkalis. So what you'll need of you today is you'll need a pen, ideally blue or black, for filling in your booklet. You'll need a pen in a different colour so that you can make corrections or mark your work. You'll need a pencil, ideally nice and sharp, and you'll need a ruler. You may also want a rubber if you want to make corrections. So today's lesson objectives, we're continuing on with our investigation into indigestion remedies. So you're going to calculate the mean from a set of results. You're going to plot an appropriate graph of the results, and you are going to conclude which is the best indigestion remedy. So start with, you need your spider diagram. You're going to add a branch, and this time the title is going to be lesson 10/11 because both lessons are about the same investigation. Everything's going to be added to the same title. So as usual, add 3 bits of information that you remember from last lesson, but try to leave space to add some more next lesson about today's lesson. Pause the video while you do this. Okay, moving on. So just to remind you, you had 3 indigestion remedies, Fizzo, Dizzo and Wizzo. Fizzo is a strongish alkali for pH around 11. Dizzo is a weak alkali, pH around 9, and Wizzo is a weak acid with a pH around 6. So I'm going to give you the results now, and you need to calculate the mean. So with Fizzo, for test 1 we had 4 spatulas added, test 2 3, test 3 5. So calculate the mean. For that, have a think, why have I done it 3 times? Dizzo, we had 10 the first time, 12 the second, 11 the third. So calculate the mean. Wizzo, I added more than 20, but it never changed colour on any of the tests. So there's no mean here, it didn't change colour. So pause the video if you need to while you calculate the means. Okay, we'll go through this. Remember, if you make corrections, use a different coloured pen. So Fizzo, the mean was 4. With Dizzo, 11. With Wizzo, there's no mean because it never changed colour. So, on the next page of your booklet, you have some graph paper. At the top, it asks you to identify what type of graph you are going to draw and why. So you need to do this. You then need to draw your graph as neatly as possible, using as much of the paper as you can. You are then, when you are finished, you are going to take a picture of it, and you are going to upload it to your study zone under the assessment, graph, Fizzo, Dizzo and Wizzo, like with your method. And then we are going to assess it and give it back to you with some feedback. So before you start on your graph, I'm going to give you some success criteria. So you need to use a pencil and ruler if you're able. It needs to have a title. Both axes need to be labelled. An appropriate scale is chosen with even spacing. The majority of the paper is used. The y-axis starts at 0. All lines are drawn using a ruler, and data is plotted with accuracy. So you'll need to pause the video and draw your graph using your results, and then upload it. If you haven't finished your method, should have some time in this lesson to finish that as well and get that uploaded. But focus on the graph for now. Hopefully you've got both of those, both the method and the graph done. So lastly would be your conclusion. In your conclusion, you need to conclude which was the best indigestion remedy and explain why that is, explain how you know, and why it is likely to be the case. You also need to explain why one of the samples would never neutralise the acid. That would be an explanation in your conclusion. So make sure you have your full investigation done and your method and graph uploaded to Moodle, and you have done the variables quiz I set for you last lesson. Now, the video is short today to give you plenty of time to work on that graph and method, but there is a self-marking quiz under this lesson that you need to do before the end. This is so you can see how you are progressing. And remember to add any new keywords to the table at the front of your booklet. So remember, we need that graph and method uploaded by the end of this lesson. So good luck, Year 8, and I will see you next time for our last lesson on acids and alkalis.